If you wanted to stage an attempted assassination, if that's what you want to do, is stage an attempted assassination, you would never shoot at the person who was the principal. You would shoot away. You'd shoot up in the sky. The principal is the primary target that you're trying to support, right? So Donald Trump was the principal. If I was trying to stage an assassination to win him popular praise, I would not shoot at him because the risk is too great that the shot would either miss and hit him, possibly hit him fatally, or it would miss him and hit someone in the audience, and then a rally member dies, and now we have to account for why somebody at the rally died. Like people were killed and people were hurt at the Donald Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. If you wanted to stage an assassination, you would shoot 35, 40 degrees off target, well away from anybody accidentally getting hit, because what's going to happen? Everybody's going to hear the gunshots. So the gunshots will still cause the panic. The Secret Service would still jump in. They'd still cover him. There'd still be all the same newsworthiness without the risk of killing somebody. And if you really, really wanted to make it like, so it made headlines, you could even potentially stage some kind of cut that's covered up with a small skin-colored Band-Aid so that when the shots go off, you can wipe off or pull off the Band-Aid and then there's going to be active red spots, right? You would never actually shoot at the principal. That's what people don't understand about conspiracies, is that when you actually plan to carry out a covert action, you plan to carry out the covert action in the safest possible way. You don't run the risk of actually shooting the principal.
So, but let's play out the scenario that it was a conspiracy. So what could have happened there? And I was in an office the other day, one of the companies that I'm involved with, and there was a group of people gathered around a laptop watching the footage, and half of the people thought it was some kind of conspiracy and that maybe he fell down and then like cut his own ear. And then the other half of the people thought that that was craziness. What side of the fence do you sit on? You think it was a real shooter?
I think it was a real shooter. Mm-hmm. I absolutely think it was a real shooter. The principles that CIA teaches us about how to analyze a situation are twofold. They teach us how to analyze a situation, but they also teach us how to predict a conspiracy. And conspiracies have a very clear anatomy. They have a very clear process. All conspiracies start with something that is factual. Something really does happen. And then, immediately following the factual thing, there's a lack of information. Inside of that lack of information, the third piece of the puzzle is speculation. Now, speculation and suspicion are very close cousins. Suspicion is healthy, right? You've heard of healthy suspicion. Speculation is not healthy. Speculation is what it takes for you to create an answer to a story that's not based on facts, which is where the fourth element of a conspiracy comes from, a story that closes the loop. Because when there's information missing, it creates an open loop. Well, guess what human brains like? Conveniently closed loops. So we can't handle an open loop very well for very long. So then we start speculating on what might have happened until someone defines for us an answer, and then all of a sudden you have an answer that closes the loop and you have a conspiracy. Conspiracies happen all the time. Conspiracies happen in your own home. Who's the last one that who ate the last piece of bread, right? Who's the one that drank the last bit of milk? How are there no more eggs left in the refrigerator, right? Lack of information leads to speculation, and then we close the loop with a story in our mind. When you look at what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, there's all the elements for a conspiracy. There's facts, a lack of information, speculation, and somebody's closing the story loop. And all these different conspiracies are gaining momentum. But when you look at the factual analysis of what happened, there are pictures, there are diagrams, there's a corpse of a 20-year-old shooter holding a high-powered rifle on top of a roof aimed at the stage. There's reports of local sheriff and local police officers being notified of that. There's bystanders who have reported that. There's technology that's been employed to verify that. There's enough facts there to know that there really was someone who was young by name who took a shot at the president. That's what we know. Guess what happens tomorrow? We learn more. We don't have to know all the answers today. More information will come. Well, as soon as Donald Trump was shot, I called up one of my friends who's a retired Secret Service officer. And I said to him that from my point of view, from what I understand about close protection, everything was done pretty close to right. There's always gaps at any kind of political rally. That's why they're dangerous. You can't make it 100% secure. That's why there's snipers on the roof. There's not snipers on the roof because they feel like the grounds are safe. There's snipers on the roof because they know that there's gaps. There's not Secret Service on the sides of the stage carrying guns because they think that they're safe. There's Secret Service on the sides of the stage because they know that there's gaps. Of course there's gaps. You can't manage all risks. The person took a shot from over 400 feet. 400 feet is a long, difficult shot. Empirically, it's a long, difficult shot. Even though the newspapers come out and say it's a turkey shoot or an easy shot or a standard shot or a basic shot, it is not. Any hunter out there will tell you 400 yards is a difficult shot, and you have to have a high-powered rifle built for that kind of distance to shoot that length. So there's all kinds of misinformation that's going around as people try to spin up a story. So for me, it was a real assassination attempt by a real person whose motives are still unknown.